Hello and welcome to the Narc Alert, where we take a look at different YouTubers and point out some traits that fall within the spectrum of narcissist personality disorder. First of all, let me say very clearly once again, we are having a little messy fun. This is not a diagnosis. We're simply going to point out some traits that this YouTuber shows us that seem similar to traits that fall within NPD. So key points to remember: messy fun and not a diagnosis. Well, that last video was a little dark, so let's lighten it up a bit. Tonight, I asked and you answered resoundingly. What video should I cover? So we're going to take a look at Amberlynn Reid's video entitled, Am I a Narcissist?
I feel like someone needs to make a video of me saying, okay, so this is my new highest weight. I know it's gonna happen because here it is again. This is my new highest weight. So I'm at 543.4. This is the highest I've ever weighed. So these are some goals that I have for myself. I'm gonna do 1,500 calories. A lot of people are gonna be like, that is way too little. Track all food with time I ate and the calories. I'm gonna track daily weight fluctuations, write down my feelings and thoughts, plan ahead when I can, fight for my life every single second, track steps daily, moderation without sabotage. We're gonna see how that goes. So far today, I'm only at 1,400 steps. I've only been awake for a couple hours. Been doing mainly just getting ready. But yeah, so. Okay, so this is just random as all get out, but we're gonna do this. As you guys know, Shane has this whole series on Jake Paul happening right now. He's making tons of people think they're sociopaths. He talked about narcissism in, I think, part 2, along with sociopathism. Is that a word? And that's just not even an opinion that I have for myself. The people around me know that. If you guys knew me in person, you know that I feel other people's pain.
Well, she is better than us. She is an empath.
If I see a stranger crying, I will cry. Like, I feel their pain. But something I see is, I have seen people call me a narcissist. And I don't want to say like people who, you know, are narcissists are horrible people, because obviously it's a disorder. It's not something you can control. But I don't think I'm one. Who knows? But there's a really popular quiz online on psychcentral.com where you can take a narcissistic personality quiz. I'm a little nervous. I wanted to do this on here with you guys. There's a column A and a column B, and I have to click which one best describes me. So you guys are going to be learning a little bit about me today, and you're also going to be learning, is Amberlynn a narcissist?
No quick online quiz or silly YouTube video can make this serious, complicated diagnosis. It can determine if she shares similar traits, but NPD is a complex disease on a spectrum. Most humans have some of these traits, but for a serious diagnosis, please seek professional help.
First thing first, it says I am a 27-year-old female.
If you take a look at this quiz, it is so vague. They ask the same questions twice. They only give 2 choices for an answer. It's like a BuzzFeed quiz. No one would think that this is an accurate test.
Number 1, I have a natural talent for influencing people, or I am not good at influencing people. I'm gonna go with I have a natural talent for influencing people, but I wouldn't say that's a bad thing. 2, modesty doesn't become me, or I am essentially a modest person. I'm gonna say modesty doesn't become me. Oh my god, I feel like this is gonna turn out really bad. I'm kind of nervous for this quiz. 3, I would do almost anything on a dare, or I tend to be a fairly cautious person. Definitely, I'm a fairly cautious person. Every time I play truth or dare, I always go with truth. 4, when people compliment me, I sometimes get embarrassed. Or, I know that I am good because everybody keeps telling me so. Oh god. Definitely the first one. Every time I get a compliment, I'm embarrassed. I don't know how to act. I actually was on YouNow earlier and I was talking about that. I just get so awkward and weird. 5, the thought of ruling the world frightens the hell out of me, or if I ruled the world, it would be a better place. Definitely, it scares the hell out of me. I wouldn't be able to rule the world.
I have no idea what to think about this kind of weird question, but I don't think she understands it either.
6, I can usually talk my way out of anything, or I try to accept the consequences of my behavior. I'm gonna be honest and say I try to talk my way out of anything, but if it doesn't work, then obviously I accept the consequences. You guys, I'm trying to be 100% honest on this because I truly want to see what my results are. 7, I prefer to blend in the crowd, or I like to be the center of attention. I'm gonna be honest, it truly depends on the people I'm around. I'm just gonna go with I like to be the center of attention. Number 8, I will be a success, or I'm not too concerned about success. I put I will be a success because I can't say that I'm not concerned with that, because in my opinion, success has a lot to do with money.
Another question that's so open to interpretation. To me, a question like this could be alluding to your drive for success, what you do, how you run your life to achieve that. To her, it is, do you think about being a success?
That's just how I kind of grew up, was like, if you don't have money, then you're not too successful. And I want to be successful in that sense because I want to be able to take care of myself. 9, I'm no better or worse than most people, or I think I am a special person. Definitely, I am no better or worse than most people.
The way she treats her paying subscribers and people who pay money to ask her a question begs to differ.
10, I'm not sure if I would make a good leader, or I see myself as a good leader. Truly depends on the situation.
I have never seen her take any kind of leadership role ever. I've seen her try and control a situation, but it's not really the same thing.
But if it's something as simple as, like, say when you're in school and you had to do like a group project, I feel like I make a good leader in that sense. But like leader of the world or something like super crazy, like a big company, then no. I'm just gonna go with I'm not sure if I'd make a good leader, because who knows. 11, I am assertive, or I wish I were more assertive. I'm just gonna go with I'm assertive because I don't wish I was more assertive. 12, I like to have authority over other people, or I don't mind following orders. I'm gonna go with I like to have authority because I'm 27 years old. I don't want people telling me what to do.
This quiz has no nuance. There is a large gap between having authority over others and taking orders. I think what they're getting at here is, do you like to be in charge of others, or is it easier to have someone else take responsibility? She is answering right, but for the wrong reasons.
13, I find it easy to manipulate people, or I don't like it when I find myself manipulating people. Definitely, I don't like when I find myself manipulating people. God, the word manipulating is so hard to say. 14, I insist upon getting the respect that is due, or I usually get the respect that I deserve. I believe that everyone should get the respect that they deserve.
Well, we know she thinks we do not give her the respect she deserves. She has told us that in the past, and she treats most of her audience horribly. So... 15,
I don't particularly, that word's also hard to say, like to show off my body, or I like to show off my body. I'm gonna go with, I don't like to show off my body. 16, I could read people like a book, or people are sometimes hard to understand. I definitely feel like I get vibes from people, so I feel like I can read
She
people.
is unaware of others' feelings and needs. She didn't have any inkling that either Becky or Destiny were about to end the relationships. She is very unaware of others.
17. If I feel competent, I am willing to take responsibility for making decisions, or I like to take responsibility for making decisions. I guess I am willing to take responsibility.
So if she feels competent, and when is that, she is willing to take responsibility. It is the better answer of the two for her, but it's a weird question.
Oh my god, I'm scared for these results. 18. I just want to be reasonably happy, or I want to amount to something in the eyes of the world. I want to be reasonably happy. I feel like happiness is really important.
I'm going to have to disagree here again. How many times have we heard about how she wants to be an inspiration to everyone, or put herself in the same category as legitimate famous YouTubers?
19. My body is nothing special, or I like to look at my body. Easy. My body's nothing special. 20. I try not to be a show-off, or I will always show off if I get the chance. I feel like when I'm proud of something, I do kind of like to talk about it, so I'm just gonna say I hate admitting this. I will usually show off if I get the chance. 21. I always know what I'm doing, or sometimes I'm not sure of what I'm doing. Definitely, sometimes I'm not sure of what I'm doing. 22. I sometimes depend on people to get things done, or I rarely depend on anyone else to get things done. Sometimes I depend on other people to get things done. I share a house with roommates. We all do chores together, and Obviously, I'm a bigger girl, so it's harder for me to do certain things. I don't like that about myself. Definitely not, so please don't twist my words. 23, sometimes I tell good stories, or everyone likes to hear my stories. I guess sometimes I tell good stories.
I have never heard her tell a good story, ever. But again, this is the right answer for her to choose.
I expect a great deal from other people, or I like to do things for other people. Oh, I definitely like to do things for other people. I'm definitely a giver.
We have seen her buy a lot of things for her friends. We can all speculate on what her motivation for that is, but in black and white terms, she does appear to give to others. But that's not doing for others. Buying for others when you have a great deal of disposable income isn't that big a stretch.
25, I will never be satisfied until I get all that I deserve. Yikes. I hope no one clicked that. Or I take my satisfactions as they come. Definitely I take my satisfactions as they come. I don't know why, but I feel like this question repeated itself. But 26, compliments embarrass me, or I like to be complimented. Obviously, I like to be complimented because I feel like compliments make someone feel good.
Just a repeat of an earlier question and not even worded differently enough to elicit a different response.
But overall, I definitely get embarrassed, awkward, and sometimes I feel like people are just doing it out of pity. 27, I have a strong will to power, or power for its own sake doesn't interest me. Power does not interest me.
This is a woman who manipulates her exes to sleep in the same bed. What kind of power dynamic is it when you always get your way?
It kind of scares me. 28, I don't care about new fads and fashions, or I like to start new fads and fashions. I don't care about new fads or fashions. I mean, if I like something, I like something. If it's a fad, okay, but if it's not, then I don't care.
She jumps on every bandwagon that rolls by, from where she shops to what she buys, and even how she speaks. This girl loves to follow a trend.
29, I like to look at myself in the mirror, or I'm not particularly interested in looking at myself in the mirror. This one's a hard one. I feel like I am very unattractive, but I feel like my body is so weird looking that I can't help but look. I know that sounds really odd, but I'm just gonna go with I don't like looking in the mirror.
If we consider the camera's viewfinder as a mirror, we're gonna have to give her a big yes on this one.
Because when I do look in the mirror, it makes me sad and I try not to look at it as much as possible. 30, I really like to be the center of attention, or it makes me uncomfortable to be the center of attention. I'm gonna go with I like it. Ooh.
You're sitting on a camera taking a quiz to find out if you're too self-involved, and you're putting it online because you think everyone wants to see it. Hard to say no to this one.
31, I can live my life any way that I want to, or people can't always live their lives in terms of what they want. Obviously at 27, I like to rant and say, I can do what I want, boo-boo. But that's just not the reality of things. So I feel like people can't always live their lives the way they want to. 32, being an authority doesn't mean that much to me, or people always seem to recognize my authority. Doesn't mean that much to me.
She often speaks to her audience as if she is an authority in weight loss, nutrition, mental health.
33, I would prefer to be a leader. Why are some of these repeated? I'm going crazy. By the way, we're almost done. So 33, I would prefer to be a leader, or it makes little difference to me whether I'm a leader or not. Again, depends on the situation, because I feel like when you're a leader, you know that things are going to get done, and if someone else is leading, then you don't know how good of a leader they are. I don't feel like that makes you a narcissist to want to get the job done right.
No, what may be a narcissistic trait is thinking it will not be done right unless you do it. There is a difference between doing it right and doing it your way.
But I'm just gonna go with it makes little difference to me, because honestly, if I do my part, that's all that matters, I guess. 34, I'm going to be a great person, or I hope I'm going to be successful. I'm gonna go with I'm going to be a great person. 35, people sometimes believe what I tell them, or I can make anybody believe anything I want them to. Ooh, I don't like either of those. I'm just gonna go with people believe what I tell them because I tell them the truth, so.
Another odd question, but I'm going to have to disagree with her here, as she's proven an almost constant liar.
36, I am a born leader, or leadership is a quality that takes a long time to develop. Definitely a long time to develop. I don't think anyone's born just like, I'm leader of the world, bitch. 37, I wish somebody would someday write my biography, or I don't like people to pry into my life for any reason. A little bit of both, but I think my biography would be really good. A lot of people have always told me I need to write a book because I was in foster care, the things I went through, stuff with my weight. So I'm just gonna go with the biography.
A true narcissist has an inflated sense of self-worth. Many people have gone through foster care. While not ideal, it doesn't make her that unique or interesting, but to her, her life story is book-worthy.
38. I get upset when people don't notice how I look when I go out in public, or I don't mind blending into the crowd when I go out in public. Again, that depends, because if I'm looking good and like Becky don't notice or something, I'm like, girl. But then again, I don't like all the compliments because it makes me feel nervous, and I'm like, ooh. I'm just gonna say I get upset when people don't notice. 39. I am more capable than other people, or there's a lot that I can learn from other people. Definitely a lot that I can learn from other people. This is the last question. 40. I am much like everybody else, or I'm an extraordinary person. I'm just gonna put I am much like everybody else because we've all been through struggles. We all are doing our life. There's really nothing extraordinary about me.
She has shown us that she thinks she is special, and she just told us that her life story at the age of 27 is so unique and fascinating that it's book-worthy. So I'm gonna have to disagree with her again.
So now I'm gonna press score my narcissism quiz now. Oh my god, I'm so scared. Okay, it says my total is 13. It says between 12 and 15 is average. So I'm right in between average. It says celebrities often score closer to 18. Narcissists score over 20.
So I went to the site and I answered all the questions as she did for us. And oddly, I got a whole different result. Not surprised. Narcissists think they're smarter than the rest of us. She thought she could pull this off. I then went through and I re-answered, giving what I thought were the answers she should have chosen based on what I've seen her do in her videos. And again, the result was no surprise. I am going to reiterate for the cheap seats in the back, a quiz on a website or a silly YouTube video that points out traits is not a diagnosis. If you have genuine concerns about a mental or medical condition, please consult your doctor, not YouTube or any website for that matter.
I'm not a narcissist. Okay, that makes me feel so good. The highest thing I scored on was exhibitionism, which means this trait refers to a person's need to be the center of attention and willingness to ensure that they're center of attention. I feel like all YouTubers kind of have that.
Okay, there you have it. A look back at Amber trying to decipher if she's a narcissist. As usual, I look forward to your thoughts. We're forming a great little community here, and I love reading all your comments. You guys are a riot. I'll be back on the weekend, and until then, I'd love it if you'd subscribe, click like, and of course, comment. Go be kind. Hasta luego.